Good morning. This is Grand Thumb Farms here on Elm Creek 25 doing a Neapolitan challenge, Cereal Tycoon edition. Got everything packed up for the morning sales. This morning I've also turned off the stone production just because it's so loud to be around it. Today we've got to cut the grass, and I believe I'm going to make hay. The grape fields need to be mulched. See what our sales are this morning. A little over 15,000. I'll take it. So grass and grape, mow and mulch. We need to plant the long grain rice, and we need to plant the regular rice. $1,600, $1,700. I still haven't decided if I'm going to plant corn this year. If I wait till next month, then that will give us some more time to raise money for the header. And it's only the header that we have to purchase in order to plant the corn or to harvest the corn. We've got everything else, so it's just a matter of whether or not I want to pull the trigger. This sugar beet field and the oat field are in good shape. Don't have to do anything to them. And I did pick up a weeding contract that I'm going to send a helper on to do while I'm doing the planting here at the farm. Going to create a job for him. Field 30. He should be good to go. So there's just a bunch of little jobs that we have to do. And I need to flood the field for the rice before I can plant the regular rice. The long grain rice doesn't get flooded until the sprouts come up. I did take care of the animals this morning. I actually didn't check the chickens' feed. They don't seem to eat much though. They're still good. I'll flood the regular rice field. On the long grain rice, I will need to fertilize after I plant. So that'll be a 2-step process. And the grass will be a 3-step process. But each job shouldn't be very long. It's just a matter of getting through them. I think the first thing I'm going to do is plant the long grain rice. It's just planted with a regular seeder. And like I said, every job should be pretty quick. I think I'm going to try with just 2 headlands. We'll see how that goes. Oh, the big unfolding. Here we go. Unfold. All right, we're unfolded. And the long grain rice goes in. I will say when we get our larger rice fields, they will be on flat ground and I'll have plenty of room, especially the long grain rice. My goodness. I meant to lower it again. Dang it. This production is much quieter, although it's still loud, but when it's running, it's really loud. Okay, let's check on the rice field. Gonna need some fertilizer. Okay. I'll fertilize it and then I'll roll it. And the fertilizing should go pretty quickly with my new fancy fertilizer. I'm stuck in the cab. I can only open the door a little bit and then have to wiggle my way out. This should be a one pass kind of job or two pass kind of job. If I can turn it on. There we go. And it's using very little fertilizer, which is awesome. I knew this field was going to be a challenge when I created it, just because it wasn't on the flat ground. And I had considered purchasing a separate field for when we started doing the long grain rice. I considered combining those two fields, but the slope was so large, it would have been a whole lot worse than this one is. There are a few small fields on the map that I'll be able to get, and they'll be fine. Nitrogen is perfect. I'm going to plant the other rice field and then I'm going to roll the long grain rice. And then we'll go on to the grape and grass. I'm not sure why it doesn't always take a full pallet, but I am going to have to come back for some more. Unfold. Oh, and my worker finished the contract. Very nice. All right, another quick little planting. I expect this rolling should go pretty quickly. The mulching is a trick, just because my grape field isn't standardized. But while I do this rolling, I believe there was 7 contracts I did between episodes. One of them was a spraying contract that wouldn't work for some reason, so I failed it. But I made about $20,000 on the other 6. I'll show you that while I roll this, and I'll get the mulching started. Here's where I'm not sure if I'll need to go change into those funny looking skinny tires or not. I believe it makes it easier. But we'll have to see. And this job takes a whole lot of patience. because there's a lot of banging into the holes. And I have to go, I believe, up and down twice. But for science, we might try it just once and see if that affects the yield. Having to relive my mistakes every time I work on this field is kind of depressing for me. Well, I believe I've decided the best thing to do is go ahead and harvest the wheat that we're going to get off that one field. It's not going to be a lot, but if I was to pull it up and plant corn, or cultivate it up and plant corn, I would have to sell the corn as corn, where I can turn the wheat into flour, and I'd be able to make more money that way. So that's probably the better decision. I've got 3 months before the oats will be ready to harvest, and I believe I'll be harvesting in June, July, August, and September. So between now and June, I'm sorry, not June, July would be the first harvest month. Between now and July, I need to do as many contracts as I can. Maybe do some antiquing. Keep all the productions going. Not only can I get the harvester this year, but next year I'll be able to get the cereal factory and start looking at larger fields. I have to determine if I want to grow the fields before I actually get the cereal factory, or go ahead and get the cereal factory and start filling it with what little product we have now. So decisions have to be made. Everything's becoming repetitious now that we've got all the different crops growing. I'm going to finish getting this grass turned and the hay made, and I'll try to make sure to pay attention to see how badly our field is damaged from the hogs, to see if we should replant the grass in that field. I do appreciate you coming out and spending some of your time with me here today. Thank you. And I hope you see me in the next one. Have a good day.